Hello, hello. So today is day 14, 2 weeks in, 7 days left after today of our 21 days to connecting with your inner wisdom. And today's was sent in to me about I'm worried about my health. So, in getting more information, this person's noticing symptoms that are different. And so they're telling themselves one story, like a rational story, like, oh, this is what it is. Maybe it's this, maybe it's this. But then deep down, they're very concerned about, like, what if something more serious is going on here, and very worried. And then they've been watching a lot of news and hearing all the health scares and stuff going on there. So a couple things. It's always, if you're going to watch the news, I highly, highly recommend you tap while you do it, because the news typically, unless you find the right stations, it's just filled with all the negative stuff, like everything that's wrong. It's also very sensationalized. I know the basics, but I really don't watch the news as a whole, because it's like you watch it and you walk away and you wonder why you think the world's going to hell in a handbasket. And there's a difference between being informed and then being terrified. And so that's something to just keep in mind. If you're going to watch it, then make sure you tap while you're watching it, because that will help dissipate what you're feeling about it. So for anyone that has some health scare, you're noticing symptoms or things going on and you're like, what is this? And the brain will naturally tend to want to catastrophize it and make it something way more serious. And it might be, but it might not be. And it can be everything in between that. It might be something super simple. I have a friend who told me a story. Her father was a medical doctor in another country. And it's interesting. So and this was, her father dealt with this. Two men got diagnoses. One was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and the other was diagnosed with something minor, like you've just got severe allergies or something like that. So the one guy that thought he was probably dying went on and just lived his life and did all this stuff. And the other guy, just the diagnosis thing is, you often find people tend to go downhill after a diagnosis. So this guy got the diagnosis and he just plunged downhill. And he didn't have tapping or anything like that to help him through it. Turns out their results were flipped. So the guy that actually had the terminal cancer was the guy who got it's just allergies, went on to live his life. Guess what? His cancer cleared up. The guy that had the allergies but got the cancer diagnosis went the other way. And if you get a diagnosis, the beauty is we have tapping now to like help us tap through that stuff, to help us alleviate the emotional terror that comes up. And the other piece with this is, you don't want to use that like the thoughts or things. And if I don't stop thinking about this, I'm going to make it worse. That just terrifies you. The key is to go into your fear, to really dig below. And that's what I was doing when I was talking to this person, is what's going on deeper here behind what you're telling yourself, because there's something deeper within you that you're really terrified of. So let's bring that out in the open so we can deal with that. That's the beauty of tapping, is you go to the worst case scenario. And I highly recommend you do that with help, assistance. If you're concerned about doing that on your own, you always want to get that support you need so that you feel like you're held safely in that. So if you're worried about your health, what I would say, and I'm going to keep it, more here for this purposes, but if I would highly recommend you get help from someone if you have been diagnosed, or if you have realize, oh, this is what I'm really worried about, then get support in that. So say you're getting these symptoms and you're like, oh God, what if I have cancer? Or what if I'm damaged because of something that I did to myself or something like that? Those are the things that you want to go to the depths of, because that's it's in you anyway. It's rumbling around inside of you anyway. You're thinking about it anyway. So you want to let that out. So let's tap. Even though I'm worried about my health, I'm noticing all these symptoms. And it really scares me. I choose to honor my truth right now. Even though I'm worried about my health, I have a symptom and I freak out. What do I really think's going on here? Even though I'm terrified of what could be happening to me, I choose to honor myself anyway now. And go to the eyebrow. What if I could get in touch with what's really going on inside of me? Where is my brain taking me? What's my worst fear about this? And what if by discovering that, I can actually tap through it and alleviate it? And what if that can make all the difference? And even if I have a diagnosis, I have tapping to help me deal with the stress, to deal with the thoughts that I'm thinking, so that I can find relief from them. And I'm just looking for relief. And what if the more I get relief from these thoughts that create fear and anxiety in me, what if I create the space for my body to do what it does best, to heal itself over time? And what if I'm guided and directed through my inner guidance on who to see and what to do to actually help me in this 3D world? What if I could be sent to the right practitioner to help me with my health and to help me improve it? And what if that can come with a lot more ease as I catch myself in my dire thoughts and use tapping to interrupt them and find more and more relief? And take a breath. So that's what we can do with tapping, is help with the stress that you feel around the thoughts that are rumbling around. And then I find, like, then the guidance can come. Like, you might just be like cruising the web, and then you're like, whoa, I'm going to check out this person. And that person is the right person to really help you with your health and help you improve it. I know, that's been my journey too, is just to get the proper help and then to work on my emotional. Like, I go to the practitioner who can help me with the health and help me with what to take and help me to how to clear things up. And then I get to do my work of tapping through my own worries and fears about it. So I hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 15. Bye for now.